Welcome back to the Comedy Crib. This is our 8th episode, and our special guest on this 8th episode is Jake Diller.
What's up?
He is pretty involved with the theater program, and I think he's a jolly old guy to keep around. So let's just jump right into it with our first question of this show. Could you describe how the dramatics program makes a theater production?
Well, from my perspective, I'm both in the cast and crew of the theater's productions. So basically, I'm constantly doing work and I never get a break. And now, basically what happens when I do cast and crew is I have 16-hour long days. Now, this takes a really long time to get a theater production going, and it's a lot of hard work, and God, do I like it / hate it.
Okay, could you be a bit more specific about the tasks and steps that you would take?
Well, I mean, in stage crew, basically what you're doing is building the production sets, you're setting up the lights with Noah. And in the cast, basically all you do is go over your lines and do the scenes right, or else you're in trouble for the shows.
Well, that's great. Do you like it?
I like / hate it, like I said before.
Okay. Well, I think that's a pretty good answer to the first question on this episode of the Comedy Crypt, which brings us, as per usual, into our first segment. Yay or nay. This one didn't really land last time, but I'm hoping to make it better with Diller. So, yay or nay. Here's how it works. I say something, and you have to say either yay or nay to it. No in between.
Okay.
Pirates, yay or nay.
Yay.
That image of the black hole, yay or nay.
Nay.
Polynomial functions, yay or nay.
Nay.
Developing political tension, yay or nay.
Yay.
Slightly damaged cars, yay or nay.
Yay.
Curtains, yay or nay.
Yay.
A large amount of gnats, yay or nay.
Of what?
Gnats.
Nay.
Leather jackets, yay or nay.
Yay.
The movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, yay or
Yay.
nay.
Yay.
A fellow yay. Old-timey shops, yay or nay.
Nay.
Frustrating authentication processes, yay or nay.
Yay.
The International Space Station, yay or nay.
Yay.
Raphael, helper of the helpless, yay
Yay.
or nay.
Yay.
Wii Sports, tennis,
Yay.
yay or nay.
Yay. Yay.
Platypi, yay or nay.
Nay.
Real egg, yay or nay.
Yay.
Nautical twilight, yay or nay.
Yay.
I would have said nay. Antifreeze proteins, yay or nay.
Nay.
Gravity, yay or nay.
Nay.
Wii Sports, bowling, yay.
Yay. Yay.
Well, that wraps up our first segment of this episode of the Comedy Crypt, which brings us to our second question. Better buckle up if you're driving. What are your favorite types of characters to play when you are doing a theater production?
What are my favorite types of what?
Characters to play.
Well, I mean, comedic characters are always fun to play.
I could tell that.
I mean, of course. And so, it's also nice playing a comedic character because people usually love it when you come out and play your role. I mean, in this play right now, I'm doing a bit more of a serious character than I've done before because I'm currently the lead in the show, and I'm having a heck of a time.
Ooh.
Now, I am enjoying this role because it's expanding my abilities in theater and stuff.
Yeah, it's always good to step out of your comfort zone. Are there any types of characters that you often see in a lot of plays, some archetypes?
Well, I mean, the main character is always an edgy boy, really. And then you always got the comedic relief.
Yeah.
That's really how it works.
Usually a weird guy, right?
Weird guy, yeah.
Usually, or an overzealous girl. Something
I mean,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I know my way around this road. Then there are those serious mentor types.
Yeah, there's always the sensei, you know?
The sensei.
Yeah. I have learned from my sensei.
This
He
whole
taught
elaborate.
me.
Oh. this whole elaborate plot point. It's like, you passed the test. Now go on
Yeah, sure.
and fight the government.
Yeah. Not much fighting the government in plays, actually. It's mostly like fighting the other bad guy
The
or like
invisible government.
getting the girl.
The invisible government.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a pretty good answer to that question. Of course, what I think doesn't matter is what you guys think and how you judge him.
They don't matter.
Okay. But since we finished off with that question, do you know any archetypes? Leave it in the comments below, which brings us to our second segment. Which number is bigger? This one's an all-star segment. I know you guys love it because I can just tell. So let's get into our first fight. Before we do this, which number is bigger? I give you two Googleisms, which are incomprehensibly large numbers, and you have to figure out which one is bigger.
Okay.
So let's get into our first fight. 11,862 X-Grand God Galagon versus Grinning God Galah.
Second one.
You got it. It's 1 for 1. The next one. Cathanorex versus God Quartic Gathordeus.
First one.
Sorry, it's God Quartic Gathordeus. Our next fight. Donulusplex versus Gibble.
Gibble.
Sorry, it's
God,
Donulusplex.
but is it fun to say? Heck yeah.
Yep, we can agree on that. Next fight. Titanic Galaxiol versus Thrudergalah.
Thrudergalah, Titanic sank.
Well, this Titanic Galaxiol is the bigger number, so you gotta go with which one sounds the stupidest. Trialog versus Deceptimavelka.
Second one?
No, it's Trialog. No, you're not, Jake.
Go ahead, Kyle. Do the next one.
The final fight. Pete-7.c versus Quoncare Recurrence Time.
First one.
You got it. It's Pete-7.c. That is the number. I'm not lying. Well, you got approximately 2 right out of 6.
Yes.
So that's an F. But it's an A in effort. And an
That's
A
all
in
that counts.
comedy. Well, that wraps up our second segment of this episode of the Comedy Crypt, which brings us to our third question. Are you ready?
Ready.
I don't think you are.
I'm so ready.
Prove it to me. All right, that proves it enough. Are there any issues that you have with the Shepaug Theater Department or how it's run?
That's a good question. Now the theater, it's great. It's fun. I love it a lot, but there's some problems with it. Now see, some schools like Shepaug tend to care about their sports a lot, and don't really care about the theater programs nearly as much. Because who would like theater over sports?
Yeah, you losers.
Yeah, we're nerds.
No, we're losers.
Losers.
Specifically.
Now, so because of that, we get a smaller budget and everything, and it sometimes makes doing the productions harder because we have to rely less on buying a ton of stuff and we have to build a lot of more stuff.
Yeah, because a lot of people think that, oh, a play, you just get some lines and walk out there, and oh, sometimes you have a skull in your hand or something. But it takes a lot to make a good play, because you have to like build a lot of sets as well.
Mm-hmm.
That requires a lot of plywood. That must cost a lot. You have to get lighting right, and outdated lighting can be difficult for people to work with effectively. And also, a lot of people don't realize the clothing department is very important as well, right?
Well, it is, yeah. I mean, the clothing is really what makes the show, because Without the clothing, you just got a bunch of teenage boys and girls walking up on stage pretending to be 50-year-old men.
Yeah, as you do.
As you do.
As you do. Like, doesn't a lot of money go into the clothing department? Or at least a lot of your little money?
I mean, most of the money goes into the stage crew part of it, which includes the clothing, because, like, that's all you really need to buy. You don't need to buy actors when you have free high schoolers.
Yeah. I think that's a great note to end this question on.
Nice.
But still, are there any more issues that you'd like fixed, aside from the budget? Maybe the way it's run?
I mean, I think the directors are great. I don't really have a complaint about them.
Yeah. Any people that are hard to work with?
Noah. God, Noah Cisamaro. What a jerk.
I was about to say, don't name them. But luckily, you were joking, so we're safe. Anyways,
Yeah.
I think that's a great note to end this question on, which brings us to our third and final segment. Tarot cards. Great game. Tarot
I
cards.
was born ready.
Are you sure you're born ready?
Sure you're
Born ready. It's in your genes. I don't see any on your genes.
Let's play the freaking cards, Kyle.
Okay, well first I gotta shuffle them. So essentially, for those of you who do not know what a tarot card reading, they allow you to spiritually see the predicted future of the recipient. And we're gonna be doing a 6-card spread, where the first card represents their past, the second card represents their future, their present, and the third card represents their future. The fourth card represents their strength, the fifth card represents their weakness, and the sixth card represents the most likely outcome. We're only going to be using major arcana tarot cards because their meanings are more easily understood with a 6-card spread. You usually use minor arcana with a 12-card spread because the cards play off each other. These don't. So, the pool of fate has been filled. Now you will let yourself decide. Before you go, pick the cards that spiritually call out to you. You're not looking at the cards, Jake. You gotta look at the cards.
I'm using my spirit.
That is fair. But your soul must exit through your eyes. Your eyes are locked on me. I see nothing.
6.
Yeah.
Nice.
Alright, well. Now we shall shuffle these to get your predicted outcome of what's gonna probably happen. Maybe. So, the first card that represents your past is the Hierophant. Now, essentially, the Hierophant represents tradition and ritualistic practices. Essentially, it was pretty all the same in your past. Like, nothing really changed that much. You never got many big breaks, maybe. Nothing notable may have happened in the past. And this could also represent that something is changing, that the past is what's the same and what's now is different.
Okay.
Your present is the moon.
I do enjoy moon.
Okay. So the moon is a card that represents hidden enemies and deception. So essentially, something is going to happen that you could not have predicted, you couldn't have even seen coming, that will change how your life works forever. It could be for the better, and it could be for the worse. What you do know is that there will be a surprise that will alter the course of your life for the foreseeable future. And speaking of the future, third card that represents your future is the sun. Now this is really rare to get right after a moon, and it represents a positive future. So essentially, paired with this moon, I think something is going to happen, a really big deal, a big break, good scholarship that could get you right on the path to success in your future.
Nice.
Nice. Now your strength is justice. So, justice is a card that represents fairness and balance. Now, since this is your strength, we can assume that you have a fairly balanced life. You balance social life with your work life. You have balanced health, and you're fair with the people that you talk to.
As all things should be.
Yeah,
Balanced.
usually. So I think this is a pretty good strength to have. And I can see it in you. You're just sort of there. But in a good
Thanks,
way.
Kyle.
But in a
I'm
good
just
way.
kind of there. Is that all I am to you?
You're
Just
everywhere
the guy
at
that's
once.
there?
You're everywhere at once.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll take it. Okay. Gotta be more specific. Hurt my feelings.
I was trying to be, but then you were cutting me off. Your weakness is strength. Now, this may be confusing. This may be confusing, but trust me. Now, strength represents reaching goals through your own power. Now, essentially, since this is your weakness, I think that you rely on yourself too much for things that others cannot even fathom. Like, in Stage Crew, you do rely on others to help you, but problems that are your own problems, you don't reach out to other people to help you with, and I think that could be an issue. Nothing to comment
I
on
haven't
that?
talked to my mom in years.
The most likely outcome is the Chariot. So, the Chariot is a card that represents victory against all odds. Essentially, since this is the most likely outcome, judging by the Sun card, you will get probably a 1 in a million chance. You will achieve a 1 in a million chance of success. You'll probably grow up to be that, like either in the Guinness Book of World Records, like something like that. Like a cool story that people tell. Like you hear about Jake, he won the lottery or something. Wow. Man, this is really going well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of excited for my future.
Yeah, you should be. You will have victory against all odds. Make sure to reach out to other people for help. Maybe even teachers. Maybe in your work, you just sort of try and do it yourself instead of conversing with your classmates. It could be anything. I have no way of knowing what's going on in your life. Man, the moon and the sun right after each other is really rare.
Just that way.
Okay, well, that concludes our third and final segment. I wonder what you guys think about Jake's tarot reading. Could you have interpreted it a different way? I hope not. Anyways, back to the show. Our third and final question.
Boy.
What has been your favorite part of doing theater, and what has been your favorite play?
So my favorite play, I have to say, was either the play we're doing right now, Big Fish, or a play I did 2 summers ago, Beauty and the Beast. Now, Beauty and the Beast doesn't sound very exciting, but I got to play as LeFou, and he was probably the most fun role in the entire show, just because, like, all I really did was sing about LeFou's man crush on Gaston. It was funny, trust me. And this play I also really enjoyed because it's, like, extending my abilities in theater.
You're growing as an actor. You're not
I'm
just
growing.
Adam Sandler anymore.
Exactly. I am beyond Adam Sandler. I am Steve Carell.
So what's the best part about plays, in your opinion?
I'd say the best part about plays is the productions. The rehearsal process is very tedious, and it gets to be very annoying and time-consuming. But when it finally gets into the shows, it makes all the rehearsals worth it.
I think a nice part about this as well is that a good majority of it is run by the students.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just have a director who makes sure that you don't burn everything.
Yeah.
And he also says, like, all right, rehearsals are at this time. All the stage stuff is handled by the kids. All the building of the sets is handled by the kids. And, of course, the actors are the kids. And I think that's pretty cool. Because in sports, you just go somewhere and you're told, all right, we're doing this. And then you're like, okay,
It's my duty.
I'll get the ball in there.
Well, that's where the art process comes in, like the whole creative part of theater. Rather than, like, you're doing this right now, theater is definitely more, like, expressive and out there.
Yeah, it's not like you're doing this, but how fast can you do it? Because theater is way more open-ended, which I think is more important for developing kids because they'll learn that they don't just have to do what everybody else is doing, but faster. They get to do their own thing. And I think that's a great note to end the show on.
Yeah.
Jake, thank you for coming by. It was a pleasure having you. What did you think about the show? Did you like the segments?
I enjoyed the segments.
Yeah?
I honestly had a few $1 million ideas planned, but didn't get to use them.
If only someone sent you an email with the schedule for the show ahead of time.
Yeah, I wish someone did that.
Oh, wait. I did.
Oh, wait. I don't use my email. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, that's a great note to end on. I'll see you guys next time on the Comedy Crypt.